Well, folks, we want to welcome you back to the 2017-2018 Tri-State Invitational. John Lehman on premises along with Rick Shellhouse, Dan Citron, and Todd Fleetman. The whole group is here. And let me tell you something. We got a tournament coming up I never witnessed in my life. We are coming to you live from Steinway Billiards. They give away approximately $20,000 in prize money and gifts. In other words, pool cues, chalks, Quick Slick. I happen to know Quick Slick personally from Florida. These guys are bringing it. They're bringing it here to the tri-state area. They've been doing it for 19 years. Our first time here, it was really nice to wake up this morning and see 60 players waiting outside in front of Steinway at 8:30 in the morning, waiting to shoot their cues. We want to thank Baltimore City Cues, of course, Kamui, and all the sponsors for the Tri-State Tour that are on with them. Because without all these sponsors, it wouldn't be possible through so many years. We got Mike Strassberg coming up, and he's going to be playing Quinn Chin. They both see. They actually just started. They caught me under the gun here. So here we go. That's the opening break by Mike Strassberg. We didn't miss anything. So John Lehman's going to put on a headset. He's going to give us a little more information on this tri-state. Now, if it sounds like he's singing, that's because he's a professional actor and a singer. Hey, what's up, John?
Hey, Al, how you doing today?
You see that? Hey, Al, sound like Frank Sinatra. John,
yeah.
this is amazing.
I'd make more money if I sounded like Frank Sinatra. That's for damn sure.
Well, you wouldn't want to be Frank Sinatra right now. We need you. This is something else. I was just telling the folks at home, you guys really, you bring a lot of goodies. 3 carloads of goodies.
Yeah.
I thought you were moving in here.
Well, for 19 years, what we do is we award the players. A long time ago, we figured out that our players of the years are mostly the people that come out to a lot of events. Okay? They win the player of the years more by attrition, by playing a lot, supporting the tour, playing a lot of events.
Yeah.
So they earn the most out of points because they play a lot of events.
Plus, I seen you give a nice
Okay.
trophy away for sportsmanship, too.
Yeah, we give a sportsmanship trophy every year. This year we gave that to Ambi Estevez.
Well deserved.
We give a most improved player every year. This year that went to Matthew Klein, who basically started the season as a C player and is now, as we move into the new season, will be a pretty good B player.
Now, the regular entry fee for the tri-state, I'm not familiar with, but I know it's somewhere around $50 or $60, depending on what bracket you're in.
Yeah.
But a tournament like this, they're all invited. There is
It's
no
a free
fee.
event.
Free event, and they got nothing to lose.
They got nothing to lose.
It's
Yeah,
great.
it's
So
you come in the top 16 in your class. We ask you if you want to come play, and you come play. The only thing you got to pay for is your tolls.
right, and the
But
meters.
it's New York City; they
Yeah.
could be a bit.
Well, that's okay. So how does one at home, because we had a couple of people in the chat saying that they do play on the APA in different areas, and they would like to get involved.
All
in
they
the
got to do is
tri-state.
bring their APA ranking to any tri-state event,
So
sign up
somebody
at the
like
event.
a solid 7 would be a B plus somewhere in that area.
B plus.
That's what I kind of figured.
We transpose and then watch and compare. We take suggestions from other players as they know somebody that they play with here or there that want to come and play.
Tournament directors and
tournament
tour
directors, room owners, and league operators.
Do you have a particular website that they can go to? Is it
Well, yeah, it's thetristatetour.com.
.com, right? Or a Facebook page? Or you got
Yeah,
also
the same thing. The
Same
Tri-State
thing.
Tour Facebook. Yeah.
So there you go, folks. You're hearing it from the head referee, great John Lehman here. Not only that, he's going to be the official tournament director for the NYC 8-Ball Championship. Scott Stubble's also in this.
I will be there.
Yeah.
And in a couple weeks, I'm out in Vegas doing the U.S. Open 8-Ball and the U.S. Open 10-Ball.
In other words, he's not that busy. He might seem like he's busy.
Yeah, and in August, we have the World 14-1. And then back to the WPS when it comes back for the finals in October.
For the finals in October. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What is Skip Maloney saying? Hey, Al, just to keep my hand. His Skip's the best. He always pop questions. He pops questions like this. to
We
me.
don't actually put the brackets up.
But
The
he always-
brackets we use paper brackets for this. You know, we have 4 tournaments going today. We don't actually put them up online, the brackets, anywhere.
You don't take pictures and throw them
Nah.
up on Facebook. Good. Well, there you go.
Nah.
How do you like it now, Skip? Skip always
Nah.
bothers me when I'm busy.
Skip wants the results so he can write stuff. I understand
He's a
that.
redneck. He's
You know?
I met him down in North Carolina for the first time. He was like, "I'm Skip." I was like, "You're the pain in the ass."
He's a good guy. He just
is.
wants to,
He is.
you know, be up to stuff so he can write.
He is. He is a good
Keep
guy.
up on things so, you know, he's not behind the gun when he's writing stuff and doesn't have to lay getting into his deadlines and stuff like that. So I understand that.
Right.
You know, we just, we don't actually put the brackets up. Actually, we're looking at some different software now to move everything online.
Which would be nice. Yeah, it's nice.
You know.
Wow, what a shot! A split shot. He made the 7 and scratched. We see Scott Bannon out there. Is Mr. Fleming actually here? No, Mr. Fleming is not here. And that's Paulie. You know, Paulie from Brooklyn in the chat. Christopher, originally from Brooklyn. There, he's out on the West Coast. Calling you Vegas Johnny.
Vegas Johnny. Yeah, I'll be in Vegas in a couple weeks. It'll be hot in Vegas in July.
I got
Oh.
news for you. It's hot right now.
Last year it was really hot in Vegas.
Mike Strassberg might draw first blood here in golf 1-0. He does. Strassberg. We're racing to 6. They're both C-plus players, as you can see on your scoreboard.
Yeah, so we do pretty good. We got a lot of
So
good sponsors. The Ozone has been sponsoring us for years.
Ozone. I said Omega before. It's Ozone.
It's
Billiards,
Ozone.
folks.
Ozone and
Which is the
Sterling sponsors us. Camus have been sponsoring us for years. John Bender Custom Cues came on a couple years ago. He gives us 2 cues a year.
Wow.
One we give to the most improved player and one we give to the overall champion. Okay.
So you're giving one out this year? is
Oh,
what
we're
you're
giving
saying?
2 out.
You're giving both of them out.
Well, we're giving about
John Bender makes a really nice cue, by the way.
probably
Really
about
nice.
30 total cues.
Wow. That's a lot of cue sticks.
A lot
God
of cases.
bless everybody.
Phil Capelli's been sponsoring us for
His books.
over a decade with his books.
Yeah.
Every year he sends us boxes of books. This year he sent us a box of the new Capelli columns. So we're giving them out this year.
Big
this
shout
year,
out to Phil.
This year also we're thankful Hustling came on.
Oh, Tony. Yeah.
Tony came on. They gave us a bunch of shirts this year, which
That's
is very nice.
Very nice.
You mentioned Quick Sticks before. They came on this year.
Yeah.
Kamui's been coming on for years. They actually started their
Quick Slick, right?
Quick Slick.
Yeah. Yeah, the cleaner.
the
With
little cleaner
plastic.
with the plastic
Yeah,
piece and
yeah,
the
I have one. Yeah, you
papers.
sent one
Yeah,
to me, yeah.
yeah, they work great.
They do. They work great. They're like the magic papers, sort of saying what they do is they just clean your shaft up.
You know, we have other sponsors that come and go every year. Predator gives us something one year, next year they don't. OB gave us stuff last year. This year they couldn't commit, but next year they're giving us stuff next year. So, you know, different people come and go. Roma
So a
Trophies
sponsor-
does a great job with the trophies.
There's a lot of sponsors listening in right now. I know Baltimore City Q's is listening because they're always on board with me. So if they wanted to be a sponsor with you, they can reach you right through the website,
Right through the website.
tristatetour.com.
Yeah. And, you know, we have Kamui's been on, like I said, they actually started their tip giveaway thing in their cards with us years ago. And now they do
Right.
that with everybody,
Right, get them installed.
you know.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Now they have new products. They got some prototypes. I got some at home.
They
I
give
just
us
haven't been home yet.
they give us a bunch of chalk this year,
Yeah.
like they always do.
They got new chalk just came out.
Romer
KamuiTips.com.
does great stuff for us. Amsterdam gives us some stuff to take care. Steinway donates the room. Now it's the 5th year we're here. Steinway donates the room. They don't, you
No
know, they
green
just give
fees.
us nope,
Wow.
just to play.
Wow.
we come and play.
That's really nice of them because it is the weekend.
Yeah,
You know, to donate your room, it costs you money on the other side. But you know what? John's been here so many times, like he said, and Steinway does so much for the game. It's incredible.
Human Kinetics for years has given us the Precision Pool books for years, and Pool and Billiards Magazine has given, ever since we started, they've been giving us subscriptions every year.
So the players get subscriptions,
Oh,
or
yeah.
they give you a limited?
Yeah, they give us a limited amount, and we give them out to different people. The major winners get subscriptions to Pool and Billiards,
Cool.
and the Human Kinetics, and
The now a lot of magazines are going digital. They're going like online magazines, which is
so
real
they
nice.
get so if you get Pool and Billiards, you get the online version as well as the paper version. But it's
nice,
good,
nice.
you
All
know.
right, to the match here. This is, I guess, Quinn is how you say his name.
Kian Chen.
Ken Chen. All right. He's trailing by one as Mike Strassberg sunk the first 9 ball.
And it's an amateur tour. It's
I dig
players
it.
up to during the 90s we used to have a lot of major open events. Tony Robles and Ginky really cut their teeth on the Tri-State Tour. I mean,
Ginky's won like
they-
16 in a row.
he was dominating in the 90s at the Tri-States. It really at that point in time was the tour that allowed them to be who they are today.
Yeah. Actually, put their name out there on the map.
Yeah.
Then when the internet got bigger, it actually.
It actually helped them become who they were.
Yeah, which was good and bad in another way, because I don't want to call it hustling because it's a bad name, even though it's hustling gear. I'm talking about hustling as far as walking into a pool room and saying I'm really not that good of a player. That wasn't George Ginky Sansucci. He'd walk in and say, I want to play your best player. He didn't want to get in there.
Oh, no.
And when the internet became big, if Ginky walked in a room, all they had to do was look up a picture of him, and they'll find him online. So it didn't ruin his action because he wasn't hiding. But other people that like to walk between the elephant's feet, so to say, it did. But I think this is great. I did one other tri-state tour, and it was the Gotham City Billiards in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, we had a large money event.
They
at
had
Gotham,
like 3,000 or
Yeah.
something. It was nice then, but this is definitely over the top here.
And like I said, we give a bunch of prizes to, as I said, the Player of the Year is an attrition thing. People win by playing a lot of events, so we support the people to play a lot for us.
Absolutely.
And then the tournament is for people to actually win by skill.
Right.
So you come, you earn your way in, and then now here you play to win.
Right.
So you win your bracket, one of the 6 brackets, and then there's a playoff between the C's, the C and C plus playoff, and the B and the B plus playoff. And then the C plays the D in the playoff, and the B plays an A in the playoffs. And then the final grand champion, one of the top 4 classes plays one of the bottom 4 classes in the grand championship.
So we got a lot of pool this weekend.
Oh, yeah. And we do it that way to guarantee that the final isn't dominated by just the upper players or just the players on the lower end that are getting a huge
So
handicap.
19 years you're doing this.
Yeah.
How many, you probably don't know off the top of your head, but maybe you do because you're a pretty sharp guy. Not the sharpest tool, but you are kind of sharp. How many times in
Yeah, I'm like a practice sword.
your invitationals at the end of the year has a lower bracket player beaten up a black?
Oh,
in other words,
quite a
became
few times.
Champion. Yeah, that's pretty
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
I like to see that.
Oh, yeah, quite a few times.
Yeah, I like that. So in other words, everybody has a shot.
Everybody has a shot. That's the way we work it. So at the end, it comes down, there's a big handicap usually at the end. Sometimes
Sure.
it's not. I mean, we've had, a B playing a C plus, which is only one game, at times. We've had, the better players.
That's pretty tough. Pretty
Yeah.
tough to beat when you get a B plus player, you only give him one game like that. But I'm sure the C plus player prevailed occasionally.
Well, they prevail a lot. Over the years, we've had some people that, won it a couple times. It's been nice.
Good. Well, that only goes to show that the handicap system works.
No handicap system works.
Yeah, well, according
You
to
try,
some
you
players.
try and adjust it and fudge it as best you can, and maneuver it and knead it and constantly work it. But you're never going to get a handicap system for amateur players that works perfectly.
Well, as you go on.
Amateur players are just too inconsistent. There's no way to get a consistent level of handicap with something that's constantly inconsistent. They play very well for a streak, and then they don't play well. They have good games and bad games. It's hard to get it accurately across the board.
I was talking about that in the last match when Iggy was playing Amy Yu. Amy Yu all of a sudden has 5, and Iggy has 2. And usually when you get in a position like that as an amateur player, the player that has his back or her back against the wall saying, hey, my opponent's on the hill. I'm letting this go.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Iggy starts winding up, and he's not running, but he's winning the next 2 racks. And it looks like it's going to go hill. It's now 5-4. So it was a great match. A lot of people enjoyed it online. So, my book, the handicap system does work. but being
Well, you try and make it work as
inconsistent.
best as you can.
And that's one of the ingredients of being inconsistent. That's just an example,
Well,
prime example.
the other problem with handicaps is really about pool of players. It's really about your pool of players and how the handicaps work within that pool of players.
That's
You know,
tough. That's tough
I
handle.
used to use the old analogy with players where if you have 3 rooms on the same highway, room A, room B, and room C, and all the really good players go to room A, and all the lower level players go to room B. Well, what happens is you get people in room A that their handicaps go lower because they're always losing to the better players. Even though they're a good player, they tend to get dropped within that room because they're always losing. So you can't lose. You don't want to lose players having the room. Right. So you have to drop people because they're losing.
Right.
Even though their actual handicap
Never
may be a
cash.
little higher,
Yeah.
you have to drop them because within your pool of players, they're getting killed.
Sure.
Then you go to room B, and you get a bunch of players in there that are beating the lower level players constantly, so they have to get raised. You know, so they get uncategorically raised a bit because they're always winning within that pool of players.
Highest,
so then what happens is when you get people from room A and room B going to room C, everything's messed up.
Now you got a jigsaw puzzle.
Now you got everything's all over the place.
Well,
and there's nothing you can do about that. I mean, places have to protect their leagues. You know, if you got somebody that's constantly losing, you have to lower them. If they're constantly winning, you have to raise them. You have to protect your league. You have to protect your tournaments within your room. I mean, Steinway has an event on Mondays and Wednesdays every week. You know, if there's somebody constantly winning that or constantly in the money, you know, they have to protect their pool of players and raise those people up. There's nothing you can do about that.
What's the highest you can be raised in the
Tri-State? Well, you know,
you got open players, right?
We go all the way up to pro.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we don't cater to many of the real high-level events anymore. Most of our stuff is A+ is the highest you can play, but, you know, we have categories for open plus, and pro.
Right. Well, there you go. I tell you, it just don't get any better, so tristatetour.com.
That's it.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch here, Mike Strassberg still leads by 1.
Ken looks like he got himself a little tough back cut here on the 8 ball he's going to try and make.
Yeah, I don't see him back cutting this. Do you? Or banking it? C+ player, right? Yeah. Some C+ players will play that back cut.
Well, you know, a lot of the lower level players play shots that they don't realize they shouldn't be making.
Yeah.
They play the shot.
And they realize the cue ball's going towards a pocket when it's too late.
You know, Tony Robles years ago, he was playing in one of the Tri-States.
He's listening, by the way. He's here.
And he played a guy who was like a D+ player. And the guy basically made a shot that is just unmakeable. It just walked up and saw it and shot it right in.
I love it.
You know, and Tony just like walked away from that like, how do you make that? I spent a couple months practicing the shot until he figured out how the guy made it so that he could add it to his repertoire.
Well, the great Efren Reyes said, you know, he loves going to amateur events and watching them. You know, a lot of people say, well, how does he come up with these great shots? He'll pick a shot in an amateur event, just like you're saying right now, where an amateur will play like an extraordinary shot, and he'll practice that shot to play that shot.
To play the shot,
and
because he sees somebody do something.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they come up and they do things that, you know, they're not quite, you know, they see it. They don't know whether, you know, to them they see it and it looks right and they play it and it goes.
Yeah, whatever you're comfortable with, I guess.
Plus a lot of amateurs, you know, pros play percentages.
Of course.
You know, they're figuring on the percentage of getting out, on making the shot, on getting good shape, not giving up the table.
The two-way,
you know,
everything comes into place.
Everything is percentages with them.
Sure.
You know, amateurs, it's, am I going to make the ball?
Swing for the fence.
And am I going to get on the next ball?
I'll tell you what, Strassberg got on that 9 ball, 2-0, Mike Strassberg.
All right, well, I'm going to go get some more stuff done.
Well, we
come back and talk to you
John.
later again.
Yeah, thank you so much for stopping in.
Oh, thank you for doing this, Al.
There you
and
go.
once again, you're doing a tremendous job, guys.
Thank you, pal. There you have it, folks. John Lehman, head ref in many major tournaments. And leading up the Tri-State Tour here. You're hearing it right from John. Steve Kurtz says, John, oh, we weren't paying attention to the chat. Apologize. Can I have this in writing? Well, it's all recorded, Steve. You can listen to it over again and enjoy it. Steve Kurtz, the character boy. All right, Strassberg leading by 2-0. Let's go to the break and see how Mike breaks. And Mike plays in a lot of leagues, whether it be Tri-State or APA. I see Mike all over the place. Another supporter of Poole. Plays on 9 for Brunswick's a lot and Castle Billiards, where that's his home court. We just did a tournament out there for the APA. Anthony Narducci and the crew. And Strassberg breaks them up and makes the 2-ball in the bottom right-hand corner, and the 8-ball doesn't get into play. Shot on the 1, a long shot. The 4-8 on the right side of the table, a real issue right here. And, you know, if Mike's cue ball was a little bit further away from that corner pocket, he would be able to go right into that 8-ball and still hold position for the 3-ball in the bottom left-hand corner. Maybe he sees it. Maybe he could do it. He might try it. No, he doesn't try it. You know, you run out of opportunities the more you shoot without breaking that trouble ball out. So he's got one shot here to draw back. And he's in a good position to play safe behind the 9. If he can get that cue ball to squirt behind the 7 and come up 2 rails behind the 9 here, would be really a fantastic shot. He might just roll up and play with the 7. Missed it completely. So he's on 1. Now his opponent, if his opponent has an inclination of just feathering this 4-ball and sending the cue ball up table without moving the 8 to allow Mike to see it, it's a pretty good safety. That ain't too bad. The kick shot is there, and not only that, you know, like I said, he moved the 8, so the kick to the long rail on top of the 8 is there. So, but Mike is still on 1. And Mike wants John Lehman actually to look at the shot. And there you see John standing to the side of the table. We're going to go to this side of the table here. And it's bad hit, ball in hand. I'm trying to get this gentleman's name right. Looks like Q-U-I-N? Q-U-I-N. Chen, Mr. Chen. So Mike is now on 2. John Lehman actually standing off to the side of the table. I'm going to watch this hit. Not only that, there is a 30-second automatic shot clock. All right, so Mike's on 3, and that should be the game there. So it looks like Mr. Chen wins that rack, which will be rack number 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and make it 2-1. Guys, come on down to Steinway Billiards. You got the World Soccer going to start up in approximately another hour from now. You got plenty of folks standing around. You got big birthday cake here. A lot of things happen at Steinway all the time. You got Anna here and Manny's wife, and Manny's here, and all the waitresses and staff taking care of everybody here. Mr. Chen breaks him up. Fails to pocket a ball. Mike Strassberg up at the table. He could play a push out. He doesn't have to actually go for this ball, but he elects to go for the kick. Oh, he's seen the paint. Okay, we are back. Well, I'm back anyway. I had to take a quick break. Okay, Mr. Chen up at the table here. The 4-ball way down table. 5-ball right in the path of the cue ball. You know, this looks tough for the amateur to actually kick into this 4-ball, especially going one rail into that short rail. It's hard to judge. Very easy to go behind it. He was well behind it. So ball in hand for Mr. Strassberg as the 7-8 come into play now. Oh, he was on 3. Excuse me, I took a break. So Strassberg wins a rack by 3 fouls now. And it's 3-1 Mike Strassberg. So Mike Strassberg playing a little deliberate there. In other words, you got me on 3. Let me attempt to get you on 3 here. And here's what John Lehman and I were talking about. This is really the next big event right here at Steinway. It's August 4th through the 5th. It's the 2018 NYC 8-Ball Championship Scotch Doubles. Go over to NYC Pool Championships with the S.com. Get in touch with Tony and his lovely wife, Gail. Get in this right away. There's 4 divisions, 4 titles. You got what it takes. You join up. Mike Strassberg set to break. And breaks. The 5-ball finds a pocket. The 2-ball finds a pocket. The 1-ball and the cue ball find each other. You can see the 1-ball goes clear past the 7 into the corner pocket. Really not much to do on this shot. Just make the 1-ball. The 3-ball is up table with the 1. The only trouble here is going to be that 4-ball, which is the pink ball. We are using the Aramis TV set, tournament TV set. That 4-ball is really a pain in the neck for any player because it's on the rail and it's just above this, just below the side pocket. And that was probably on Mike's head, believe it or not. This could marry up. This is a nice little ticky shot. I like playing this shot rail first, behind the 3, and then kicking the 9-ball to the corner pocket. Being a C-plus player might not see the shot. But there's a nice little shot behind that 3-ball. Again, this 4-ball is really going to be a pain. Trying to cut this 4-ball up the rail, let's say into the long pocket, in the upper corner pocket. The points on those side pockets get real huge when you try to do that. A lot of professionals or even A players will try to go into that 4-ball and kick it off the rail because of the position that it's in. Thanks, Rob and Skip, for the update on the 3 fouls. I had to step away. Look at this. It's amazing. It's really amazing how something like the cue ball only might go in the pocket or hangs on the shelf like that. A lot of players will play this 3-ball off the 4 just to get the 4 off the rail. I don't think Mike Strassberg saw that shot. But anytime you have a shot into the possible side pocket where that 4 is residing right there, a lot of players will tend to play off the 4 so that the object ball deflects into the side pocket, thus far kicking the 4 off the rail. All right, looks like we're going to be putting this 3-ball around quite a while here. And I think one of the main reasons for doing that is because of the position of that 4-ball. Oh, look at this. Look what Upstate Al gets. Wow. 2017-2018 Tri-State Tour mug. I'm going to have to take a picture of this. And this is going to come into good use. Thank you, Johnny. That's really nice of you. Wow, I'm going to take a picture of that, guys. I'll put that online. Wait till you get a hold of this thing. Let's see. Wow, what a nice mug that is. Let's see if I can get a picture of this. Wow, that's pretty amazing. That's a nice mug. Okay, send that to myself. I'm so happy I got this mug that I took my eye off the game here. What a beautiful mug. I'm going to put it up on the screen just a little bit. Tri-State actually has their own coffee mugs. All right, Mr. Chen here to kick this four ball. He's got to watch the scratch. Kicked it on the upper side, which is the good side to kick it on. Not only that, boy, oh boy, did he come out with a bonus here. He's got a safety. Mike Strassberg can kick off the short rail. And if he kicks it good, if he kicks the four ball favoring the right side of it pretty solid, the cue ball will stay behind the 8-9. He's got to watch the speed here. You don't want the cue ball and the four ball to follow each other because you'll just leave a shot at it. You want to kick below it. Sort of like that, but he followed each other. You see that? Okay. Oh, Mike missed that one. He's going to leave a side pocket shot, or is it going to drift below it? He's left a side pocket shot and 2 to 3 rails around for the 7 ball. The 8 ball is going to be a hard ball to get on for a C-plus player. Ooh, that's hard. Man, that might be a scratch. Hit that cue ball really hard. Now that the 8 ball's in the open, makes it quite easier for the player to get on. Strassberg coming with it, 4-1 in this match. It's a race to 6. And we're going to have to see Mr. Chen loosen that arm up. I'm going to try to get this picture of this coffee mug. What a beautiful mug. Okay, here it comes. There it is right there. Look at that. Tri-State Invitational 2017-2018. That's pretty darn cool. I like that. That'll be put to good use. I see a lot of people trying to be friends with Upstate, and I'm sorry to say, I don't know if I have any more room on this page here. Oh, I do have I have room for 2 people. I got so many requests. We'll have to wait to take care of that. Strassberg is set to break. We're going into rack 6, racing a 6. He leads here 4-1. We're at Steinway Billiards in Astoria, Queens, New York. 7 ball in the bottom right-hand corner. A shot on the 1 ball. Not enough of the 1 ball to cut it into the upper left-hand corner. But a beautiful chance to play safety right here. You bank the 1, and you roll the cue ball 1 rail behind the 3-6 here. Just like that. Oh, hit it a little bit harder to get that cue ball to stick to the 6 ball. Nevertheless, where the 1 ball sits right now, it's a fairly easy hit. He can see it. Okay, as long as he can see it, he can hit it then, I guess. No hit, ball in hand. Look at the 1-9. Strassberg, I believe, will take this. Plus, Mr. Chin is on 1. Nothing wrong with playing this ball right here for a quick win. Looks like Mike might be cutting us a little too sharp. Might hit just where the 2 is, just to the left side of the 2 here. Let's see. Yeah, that's where he hit, just past the 2 ball. Look at Mr. Kurtz. He's the best. He wants somebody to help him build a website. He wants somebody to help him do this. He wants somebody to help him do that. Put him in the bathroom. Nice mug, right? Yeah. I don't know how to get one, Steve. John Lehman come over and hand that mug to me. And that, like I said, that'll be put to good use, or I'll save it as a souvenir. I'll maybe hang it in the roadmobile on the hook. In fact, my son and I went out and bought hooks the other day. Those hooks might come in handy now. And also Baltimore City Q's, they sent me, they gave me the last time they saw me a beautiful 9-ball from the China Open that they got with a beautiful lucite holder for it. Just gorgeous, nice souvenir. Always picking on the commish. I don't know, Steve, how to get one. Maybe to tristatetour.com or talk to John or Dan Citron when you see him. I was just sitting here, and John came over and handed it to me. Real nice. All right, Mike Strassberg looking to roll up here between the 6-3. There you go. He's got Mr. Chin on 1. I don't see him playing safe again. I think he's better off running at least to the 3-ball, and then if he wants to play safe on the 6 if he gets on the good side of that 3-ball. And that's assuming the 3 don't go in the corner. I didn't take a look at it yet. We'll take a look at it real quick now. It doesn't go in the corner. So let's make this 2-ball. It might go in the side pocket where he's bridging right now, the 3-ball. I don't know if he'll play to that left side of that 3 or not. No, he was just looking to play safe and wound up getting himself jammed up. Anytime you're driving in New York, man, it's very easy to get jammed up. And Mike Strassberg got himself. You'd see him shooting a dart, sort of say. But this cue ball, I'm real interested on how Mike's going to jump this. Look, 1 leg on the table as a dart jump. And winds up hitting the 6. He could have hit the 3, but hit the 6-ball clean. Nevertheless, his opponent is on 1. I don't know if Mike's going to remember that, if Mr. Chin should scratch. I don't think he will, but sometimes you forget that your opponent's on 1 when you make a mistake like that. The only thing on your mind is, how can I hit that so bad? But nevertheless, Mr. Chin is not on 1 anymore. He's free. Nice roll-up shot. Opposite side pocket for the 5-ball. The 6-ball is the ball just below the 5-ball here. So he can shoot this in the same side pocket or roll it for the opposite side, and he elects to go to the opposite side. The reason I didn't like this shot is because you see what the 8 is? Unless he's going to play the 8-9 combination, from here it's very difficult to get on position for the 8 in the opposite side pocket for an amateur unless he knows to spin the cue ball below the 8. If he can cheat the pocket. You know, sometimes they just want to shoot balls into the heart of the pocket. And that's what he did. He's going to play the 8-9 combination. So the 8-9 combination, shall he make this, will be 4-2. He'll still be in the match. But if you miss this and you jar the pocket with this 9 ball anywhere near it, it's going to leave Mr. Strassberg with an opportunity here. He's got to make sure he makes this. He did. Boy, no doubt in his mind he was going to make it. That's for sure. 4-2. You know, I was just had to take a quick break, so I ran to the restroom. I know that's too much information, but there was a gentleman in there, and he says, "Wow," he says, "I really like this." I don't know his first name. He's one of the strange amateurs that I haven't met yet, but I'm sure I'm going to get him in the booth. He's very talkative, and he says, "I listen to you quite often." He says, "I really enjoy some of the stories." I said, "Well," "I guess you're playing in the event." He says, "Oh, yeah." He says, "I'm having a lot of fun." If I had to guesstimate his age, probably early 50s, late 40s. And we're going to try to get him in once I introduce myself to him. I didn't get his name. I'm not going to shake hands with somebody in the restroom. So we'll try to talk to him afterwards. 4-2 here in the match. It looks like Mike Strassberg's took a break. We're going to send it over to this match right here where you got Mr. Hondu. We'll take the scoreboard down until Mike Strassberg comes back. And we'll be back in the box. Stand by, everybody. All right, we got to get back to the match as Mr. Chen came back. It wasn't Strassberg who took the break. Strassberg actually come over to me. He says, "Hey, Al," he says, "you're recording this?" A lot of the players, what they want is especially in the amateur divisions, they would like copies of the match. And since Mike is shooting, I guess, what he considers his good game, as he said to me, he would like to have a copy. And we do have the copies for the amateurs. We record these matches. So to the break cam, we're going to go, and Mr. Chen set the break. Going into rack 7. Trails here by 2. Nice break. But come up dry. 6 to the 9. I noticed these shots right away, like the 4 to the 9. Even though the 4 goes in, amateurs tend to play these combinations. What we call hunting the cheese, which is the 9 ball in this case. Now, if Mike, for some reason, should lose this match, I wonder if he would still want it. I say get the matches. You know, if you have time, you know, Upstate can't give you a recording until I'm off the air, but I do save them in any case if I see you down the road. Even if you lose the match, it's good to have to critique some of the things that you possibly did wrong. You know, you can play a perfect game of pool and your opponent play and you can still lose. But, you know, sometimes you make mistakes and you don't realize it until you actually view it. You know, and you say, wow, I could have played that to the other pocket and got very simple position. So I always urge the amateurs, I push them to get the recording whether they lost the match or not. Jeff, depends on the match. You know, a lot of them, especially in the race to 5, race to 6, they're way under a gig. You know, so I always tell the players to go out and buy a 8 gig or a 16 gig thumb drive because chances are that, you're going to be on the live stream again. It's better to buy a bigger drive. This way here you can call that your pull drive or something, your pull thumb drive. So, so you can, continue to collect your matches and your progress as you progress in the tournament. These matches here I'm recording in, of course, 1080p. Some of them I do record in higher definition, like a lot of the pro events I'll record in super high, which both are very good anyway, but just because some of the promoters want it saved for YouTube in a higher definition, I do it. It's a nice little safety, just stick it right there. And don't hit it too hard, just enough. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. The 9-ball is kind of off the rail enough where you can feather this. If you feather the left side of this 6-ball, and I mean feather it, the cue ball goes to the rail, comes back out, and pockets the 9. Not hard. Sort of like that, but you got to feather it a little bit less. And getting back to the thumb drive with Jeff in the chat, one of the main things is you have to be on premises, because I got like 33 thumb drives that belong to people that didn't leave their name on it, and I have them in a bag. Until they come up to me and say, hey, Al, you still got that thumb drive? Then I got to say, well, what color was it? Whom, how many gigs? And I got to go through them all. So Mike Strassberg said, I'll just give you the thumb drive. No, you don't give me anything. You got to wait till after the tournament or till I'm off the air or early in the morning before we go live, and then I can always give it to them. Johnny's in the chat, and he says, is this an open event or an amateur event? This is a amateur event for the whole weekend. We will have the A players and the A+ players be coming in tomorrow. Right now we do have B+ and all the way down to D players today. Total of 82 players playing in this event. Scotty, you can have your match any day you want it. I do have them saved. Especially the one you won that big event. I got it. I love Scotty. Scotty won a major event when he was in China, and we do have it. Mr. Chin says, well, you guess what? It's now 4-3, he says. Let's keep rolling right here with this main event. Again, the grease stains you see on the cloth are due to the metal rack. Grease transfers from your hands, dirt, everything. And then you push the rack up like that. And that's what stains the cloth. But the cloths are in great condition, just, you get the tracks. All right, this is getting interesting, 4-3. I'm sure Mike Strassberg is definitely sweating it out. This is, again, this rack is a really big rack. You're talking 5-3 to 4-4. So it's really, look at the 9-ball traveling. We might see a quick rack here. Nope. But a real nice break. As you see the cue ball drilling oil there, right in the center of the table. It's a real nice break. Just he didn't get a shot on the one, but he can see it. So he's going to have to play a little safety here. It's called the mouse trap. You put one ball on one side of the rail and the other ball on the other. He didn't do it. So Strassberg might bank. You might see Strassberg bank this because his back's against the wall, meaning Mr. Chin is really getting close. I wonder if Mike's going to swing for the fences. No, he elects to cut and hung it. You see the shoulders drop and the head shake. Try not to do that. Try not to show emotion. If you take a player like Clint Kachi, he's one of the hottest players on the planet right now, alongside Jason Shaw. You'll never see Clint Kachi show any kind of emotion. He's almost like granite. You know, he doesn't show emotion. And even if he loses, now I've seen him in tournaments where he took a one loss. Gentleman Jim, it all stems from snooker background, of course, and playing the game as it should be played. But anytime you show emotion, it sends a signal to your opponent. And on the amateur level, pumps your opponent up to say, look, this guy's really not shooting good, and he's actually, you know, showing me that he's weak. You know, it's like a signal that I'm kind of weak right now. So try to hold those emotions. You miss, go right back to your seat, sit down. No texting on the phone, no chalking your cue. Just sit there, relax, and wait for your opportunity to get back, if you get an opportunity. In this case, Strassberg, you can see, got another opportunity. And at this level, that's expected. You know, they're not going to shoot perfect pool. But they are behaving themselves, and John Lehman made that perfectly clear. There will be no unlike sportsmanship taking place. He doesn't tolerate that. It would be a forfeit, and see you later, you're off the tour. So a lot of these players are, I hate to say put in their place, but given the rules the way they should be emphasized. No unlike sportsmanship allowed. All right, Strassberg, he's got to decide whether he wants to go for this bank shot here or elect to play safe behind the 9. You know, there is no two-way here. He elected to play behind the 9, but I'll tell you what, he hit the 9 ball pretty good there. Leaving one of these angles that are real sharp. And this angle here, you could definitely pocket this 5 ball if he can bridge good on this cue ball. It's a big side pocket, just accepting the 5, and you got plenty of runway space to run that cue ball up and down. Missed it. Watch the kiss here. Uh-oh. This could be very dangerous. He's got an open pocket. The 9 ball's an illusion. Almost looks like it's in your way when you're down shooting, but this 5 ball clearly goes in the corner pocket. And Mike Strassberg has to concentrate. Forget about position, because even if you're on the left side of the table, you can make this 9. You're not going to be on the left side of the table. Just concentrate on making the 7 ball in the corner pocket. Nothing crazy. Don't force the ball. Don't try to draw off it. Just make it. And of course, you've seen the cue ball draw off the 7, and the 7 bobble, and this is where it remains. He can bank this if he wants. That 9 ball makes that upper left-hand corner real big. So he can actually bank this towards that upper left-hand corner if he elects to do so, and that's what it looks like he's going for. He didn't need the 9 ball, but here is the only position on the table where you can't make the 9 in that corner, and Mr. Chen found it. He had to prove me wrong one time in 4 years. Wow, that's really a bad roll right there. Really a bad roll. And that's not a very good shot. But it's something that he thinks Mr. Strassberg can't make. You know, opportunity to get on the hill here. You know he's going for it. You got to go for it. Just protect the cue ball. That's all. Somebody left a coin there, and wow, went right in his pocket. Give him my coin back. We got you on film, Strassberg, taking that coin over there. Protect the cue ball, I said, and boy, he let that cue ball go a little bit more than what he should have. But he is on the hill. 5-3. Big game, like I said. Very well could have been 4-4. The only spot on the table, Mr. Chen found that you couldn't pocket the ball. We're now on the air 3 hours and 17 minutes. So we are going to get this match in, hopefully. It's only a race to 6. And then after this, we'll refresh and come back live again with the 2017-2018 Tri-State Invitational. A lot of prizes going to be given out. A lot of trophies. And, of course, we're going to see the Grandmaster, too. Eight ball. Oh, that's the 6. That was the 8 ball got forced in, and the 7 ball's gone. Shot on the 1 ball is there. The 2 ball way down at the short cushion at the bottom of your screen, near the 9 ball. Tough position. Maybe draw between the 3 and the 4 to come down to the right side for the 2 ball. He's got that angle. No, he just wanted to make the shot. All right. Nathan, you playing in this tournament? See, Nathan in the chat wants to know big names in the tournament. And right back to back. Watch him kick the 4 here. Watch the 4 ball. Ooh, spun the cue ball a little too much. You know, Strassberg can win this set right here. Since Mike wants a copy of this, what do you say we make fun of Mike? He's a sport. Mike supports many tours. We like to tease him. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this because the 2 ball. You got to control this 2 ball, which is going to probably bounce down behind the 3 ball. You know, in that bad angle. See, like that? Well, he's still got a shot, I think. Could have very well played the 2 ball in the opposite pocket. He's comfortable. He's the biggest names here: Johnny Archer, Keith McCready, Nick Varner. They all have been here. 5 ball in the side pocket. I mean, the corner pocket. I'm over here looking at the chat. Why aren't you playing in this tournament? Got Mike Strassberg looking to win this first set here of his. Good speed. Nice position. You could have been one of the big names here, Nathan. What are you doing? Get out on. You got to get out of the house every once in a while. Stop being a dweller. Strassberg looking to cap this off. He does too, in nice fashion. 6-3, Mike Strassberg. Folks, we're gonna have to refresh this Facebook We're on the air almost 3.5 hours. They only allow us to stream for 4 hours at a time, so it couldn't happen at a better time. But before you go, we want to put up the official score, 6-3 in favor of Mike Strassberg. Once again, you are watching the 2017-2018 Invitational Grand Championship.